I'll do my best.
Bow our heads. Dear gracious Heavenly Father, God, we thank you so much for this and another day. Lord, we're so thankful, Lord, for all your wonderful blessings that you bestowed upon us, Lord, the ones that we've seen, Lord, and the ones that we've not even thought about. God, we come to you now, Lord, asking that you bless this city commission meeting, Lord, bless each one in attendance, Lord, bless the commission, Lord, bless the mayor, Lord. Just bless this city, Lord, as we continue to grow and move forward. God, we'll remember to give you all the honor and glory for these things. It's in your name that we ask. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so it's August 21st. I'd like to call the Corbin Board of Commissioners meeting to order with a roll call, please.
Moore? Here. Shepherd?
Here.
Baker?
Here.
Campbell?
Here.
Radley?
Here. First on the agenda is to approve the July bills. Anybody got any questions, or I'll entertain a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Moore?
Yes.
Shepherd?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Campbell?
Yes.
Radley?
Yes. Approve the minutes from the following meetings. June 20th, 2023, special meeting, July 17th, 2023, regular meeting, and July 18th, 2023, special meeting.
Make a motion to approve all three of these minutes. Second.
Shepherd?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Campbell?
Yes.
Moore? Yes. Radley?
Yes. All right, next is a presentation from Marcy Rhines and Ashley Lawson from the Whitley County Health Department on vaping.
Thank you. I'm Marcy Ryan. I'm the director at the Whitley County Health Department, and with me is Ashley Lawson, one of our health educators. We heard that the topic of vaping had come up at a previous commissioners meeting, so we wanted to come and share information that we have with you and offer our collaboration wherever we can. Not distracting at all. So, thanks, I'm sorry. A little bit of data from the 2022 National Youth Tobacco Survey. This is a survey that's done online through classrooms across the United States. And it tells us, unfortunately, 1 in 10 high school and middle school students used tobacco in the last 30 days prior to the survey. More than 16.5% of high school students and 4.5% of middle school students is part of that 1 in 10. Now, given that our adult rates in Whitley County of tobacco use are above the Kentucky and the national average at over 30%, I'm pretty confident that those numbers I just gave you about youth use are an underrepresentation of the reality in our community. 2017 CDC data estimates that Kentucky as a whole has rates second in the nation, 14.3% of youth. And data shows that that's holding steady and possibly increasing. It's just really hard to get exact data for a local county level area with our population size. Both because we're dealing with youth and because there aren't that many youth. We don't want to identify youth that respond to these surveys. So oftentimes getting that county level data is a challenge because it's suppressed to protect their identity. But of those that responded to that national tobacco use survey in 2022, e-cigarettes or vaping are the most common type of tobacco that's used. And if a youth uses, they are likely using every day. 4 in 10 users report that they used at least 20 of the previous 30 days. So they're not occasional users. More than half of youth who use vapes use disposable vapes, and a quarter use pre-filled or refillable pods or cartridges. And I think most surprising of all, 85% of youth who use vaping products use flavored devices. Fruity and candy flavors are the most common, 85%. So this is all really consistent with what we hear anecdotally from parents and particularly from schools. And I think you've heard it before too. They are finding vapes in younger and younger students in primary school, intermediate school, elementary school age kids at this point in our community. We have kids who are failing drug tests because they don't know what's in the vape that they happen to be using. They're not intentionally using things like THC, but then they're tested as a part of athletics or some other program or jobs, and they're failing, or their parents are testing them and they're failing. And we know that vapes are very easily disguised and hidden, so they're hard to track down, but we're still finding them, schools are still finding them. So why do we care? Why is vaping bad? Well, vapes have nicotine, and they also have toxic metals like nickel and lead, chromium, tin, and aluminum. Teen brains are still developing, and they are very susceptible to nicotine addiction. But not only that, the nicotine changes their brains, and in adolescence makes them more apt to be addicted to other substances throughout their life. Even if a vape does not have nicotine, which most do, they still have things like propylene glycol and glycerol, whose byproducts, when you heat them, can cause permanent lung damage. There is no such thing as a safe vape, and no vape has been approved to be used as a quit method. The data doesn't actually support it. And often because the nicotine amounts in a vape are much higher than what you would get smoking a cigarette. So when you use a vape thinking you're cutting back, you're actually increasing your nicotine consumption. But even if you wanted to make that argument, that wouldn't apply to youth. There are some Kentucky laws in the books related to youth access and use of tobacco. The minimum age is 21 years old. Youth are prohibited from buying, possessing, or using tobacco products. If you sell tobacco, you must post signs saying that tobacco sales to underage consumers is prohibited. You're not allowed to give free samples to youth. If you have vending machines, which I'm not aware of any specifically, but they have to be inaccessible to youth, or they have to be line of sight to the cashier so the cashier can intervene if a youth is trying to access it. Kentucky Medicaid covers all quit medications, and Kentucky law requires all private insurances to cover quit resources as well. So what do? I think it's important to enforce the things that we already have access to. Enforce age restrictions. Enforce the sales happening in restricted situations, or prevent that. Enforce the existing tobacco-free ordinances that are in place, and also the tobacco-free school policies. One of the frustrations that we hear from schools is enforcing that, particularly outdoors with athletic events, that is very challenging. So what I would like to encourage people in general is to, remind people that spaces are tobacco-free, feel empowered to start that conversation, direct them to a designated smoking area, engage with school staff and support them when they're trying to make those connections with people. But I think encouraging adults to model the behavior we expect, it means that we don't use the tobacco products in front of other youth, particularly on school grounds at a football game. And part of that is prevent initiation with youth. Prevent youth from starting tobacco use and vaping, and that includes setting what we like to call in public health positive social norms. So 1 in 10 middle school and high school students used tobacco in the last 30 days, but 9 didn't. We need to celebrate the 9 that didn't, and we need to make sure that the other kids know that it's not an automatic that you use tobacco. It's not a have to. It's not an assumption that you can make healthier choices and you can avoid initiating, because once you start, it's very difficult to stop. And for those youth that have initiated tobacco use, we need to facilitate and promote quit resources. There are plenty of free resources, and there are plenty of free resources that target youth. My Life, My Quit is one of those that is very specific to youth. And you can access that by texting Start My Quit to 36072 or by visiting ky.mylifemyquit.org. And anybody can access 1-800-QUIT-NOW. And those resources are free, and they will figure out with you what solution might work whether that's talking to somebody or whether that's medication. But those resources are all free and the medication is free as well. And lastly, one of the things that happens on a fairly regular basis at the beginning of a preparing for a legislative session is a discussion about what's going to happen at the state level. Last week, I heard about conversations that are currently happening about state level changes that there's a discussion about. There's nothing drafted or sponsors or things like that. But what they're talking about is the potential for implementing a state license to sell tobacco. So I would encourage you to speak with your state elected officials and encourage them to participate in those conversations and sponsor legislation when that time comes, or co-sponsor it. But I think that having a license to sell is a potential solution that is palatable on both sides of the issue and has potential for success. Over the last several years, I've heard of different opportunities or proposals bandied about. This one seems like it has the best chance for success. So I would encourage you to speak with local folks to get on board with that. And we're happy to answer any questions that you all might have, and we have a few resources that we can share with you. I didn't make copies for everybody, but you're welcome to have them and make copies. But
Awesome, and I think that would be great for the news sources that are here. Could put that in your articles about this today. And I will say that as far as local vape stores are concerned, they're on notice. We're cracking down. We're coming for you if you're selling to our kids. And they need to take this seriously, and because our police department will be coming for them.
And we appreciate that very much. We are wrapping up our community health assessment and in the process of developing our community health improvement plan. And we asked the community and partners and looked at data about what are the most important issues that we should prioritize over the next 5 years. And I'll tell you that substance use, including tobacco, is in our top 3. So we are looking forward to other opportunities that we can help collaborate, public-private partnerships to really reduce the use because of the long-term impacts that it has in our community.
Yeah, I was just gonna thank you all for coming and for giving us those statistics. Those are really helpful. And I wanted to follow up on the conversation that we had at the last meeting where this was mentioned. It was 2 months ago. But is there anything else that we can do on the local level as far as a quota? Or should we wait? Do we need to wait on the state?
I think Marcy hit it right on the head. The state needs to take action to get, I love the licensing idea.
Yeah.
You know, you remember when we legalized alcohol, you had to have a license, so it shut down the bootleggers and all that stuff. So I think that's an excellent idea. I know for a fact that the police department, the mayor, we're gonna be very, very active. And I prosecuted 2 people in Greensboro for selling to
We appreciate
youth.
that.
Yeah, so if we can catch them, and the penalty's not light, okay? So if we can all work together, I think we can accomplish it. But I think everybody ought to concentrate on our state legislator to pass something that's got some teeth in it. You know, I think that's the key to it. Because when you start looking at quotas, well, every service station, grocery stores, mom and pop, guess what they do? They sell vapes. It's like pipes. You know, tobacco's not illegal, so you can't prohibit pipes. I think the key to it is getting something with teeth in it from the state to regulate these people that are selling. Because I could open a stand down here and start selling vapes. And the biggest thing, and I know this from being a juvenile court, is that these vapes in school don't contain tobacco. They contain weed.
And oftentimes youth don't know what they're getting.
I
They're
know.
getting them from friends, they're finding them.
But a lot of them
And they don't know.
A lot
Some of them do, but it's rarely only to that.
Gotcha.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was what's hard, the last conversation.
All right, thank you all very much for coming. Anybody else? All right, let's move on. The first reading of ordinance 2023-6, an ordinance annexing to the city limits of Corbin, Kentucky, a certain tract of real property and establishing the zoning classification for said tract of real property owned by Terra LLC located at 765 US Highway 25 West.
Ordinance number 2023-6, an ordinance of the city of Corbin, Kentucky, annexing to the city limits of Corbin, Kentucky, a certain tract of real property and establishing the zoning classifications for said tract of real property owned by an entity property owner. Whereas KRS 81A.410 authorizes and delegates to city legislative bodies the authority to annex territories, whereas KRS 81A.412 provides the manner in which said annexation may be accomplished by consent of the property owners, whereas KRS 81A.415 provides the manner in which said annexation may be accomplished by a city contained within 2 counties of an area in an additional county, whereas the city of Corbin has met the requirements of 2023 RS Senate Bill 141, Section 3, subsection 3D, which became law on March 29, 2023, whereas the property owner has consented in writing that their certain tract of real property be annexed and incorporated into the city of Corbin, Kentucky, whereas the real property described herein is adjacent and contiguous to the present city of Corbin, Kentucky, and whereas the real property described herein by reason of population density, commercial, industrial, institutional, or governmental use of land or subdivision of land is urban in character or suitable for development for urban purposes without unreasonable delay, whereas the real property described herein is not within the boundary of another incorporated city, whereas the real property described herein contains infrastructure owned by the city or any agency, political subdivision, department, or instrumentality of the city of Corbin, whereas the real property described herein is not within an agricultural district as certified by the State Soil and Water Conservation Commission, and whereas at least 45 days prior to the enactment of final annexation ordinance under KRS 81A.412, the city of Corbin provided notice of said annexation to the Laurel County Fiscal Court, the county containing the territory to be annexed. Now therefore be it ordained by the Board of Commissioners of the city of Corbin, Kentucky as follows. Section 1, that pursuant to KRS 81A.412 and 2023 RS Senate Bill 141, that certain tract of real property owned by Tarl LLC located at 765 US Highway 25 West, parcel ID 138-00-00-009.00 is hereby annexed to the city of Corbin, Kentucky, and said real property being more particularly described as follows. Legal description attached hereto as Exhibit A. Section 2, that the above referenced and above described real property set forth in Section 1 above containing real property owned by the property owner is hereby zoned C1 and keeps the same zoning designation. Section 3, that the zoning map of the city of Corbin, Kentucky is hereby amended to add the above referenced and above described tract of real property set forth in Section 1 above to city of Corbin, Kentucky's boundaries, and to reflect the zoning classifications given to said tract of real property as set forth in Section 2. Section 4, this ordinance be reviewed and inspected at the office of the city clerk, city of Corbin, Kentucky, City Government Center, City Hall, 805 South Main Street, Corbin, Kentucky, 40701, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. Section 5, this ordinance shall take effect upon 2 readings, passage, and legal advertisement. Section 6, all ordinances or portions thereof in conflict herewith are hereby repealed. First reading, August 21st, 2023.
All right, need a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve?
Second. Baker.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Moore. Yes. Shepherd.
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. First reading of ordinance 2023-7, an ordinance annexing to the city limits of Corbin, Kentucky, a certain tract of real property and establishing the zoning classification for said tract of real property owned by Danny and Brenda Wallen located at US Highway 25W.
Ordinance number 2023-7, ordinance of the city of Corbin, Kentucky, annexing to the city limits of Corbin, Kentucky, a certain tract of real property and establishing the zoning classification for said tract of real property owned by individual property owners, whereas KRS 81A.410 authorizes and delegates to city legislative bodies the authority to annex territories, whereas KRS 81A.412 provides the manner in which said annexation may be accomplished by consent of the property owners, whereas KRS 81A.415 provides the manner in which said annexation may be accomplished by a city contained within 2 counties of an area in an additional county, whereas the city of Corbin has met the requirements of 2023 RS Senate Bill 141, Section 3, subsection 3D, which became law on March 29, 2023. Whereas the property owners consented in writing that their certain tract of real property be annexed and incorporated into the city of Corbin, Kentucky. Whereas the real property described herein is adjacent and contiguous to the present city of Corbin, Kentucky. And whereas the real property described herein by reason of population density, commercial, industrial, institutional, or governmental use of land or subdivision of land is urban in character or suitable for development for urban purposes without unreasonable delay. Whereas the real property described herein is not within the boundary of another incorporated city. Whereas the real property described herein contains infrastructure owned by the city or any agency, political subdivision, department, or instrumentality of the city of Corbin. Whereas the real property described herein is not within an agricultural district as defined by the State Soil and Water Conservation Commission. And whereas at least 45 days prior to the enactment of a final annexation ordinance under KRS 81A.412, the city of Corbin provided notice of said annexation to the Laurel County Fiscal Court for the county containing the territory to be annexed. Now therefore be it ordained by the Board of Commissioners of the city of Corbin, Kentucky as follows. Section 1, pursuant to KRS 81A.412 and 2023 R.S. Senate Bill 141, that certain tract of real property owned by Danny and Brenda Wallen, husband and wife, located at U.S. Highway 25W, Corbin, Kentucky 40701, parcel ID 138-00-00-017.00, is hereby annexed to the city of Corbin, Kentucky, and the said real property being more particularly described as follows. Legal description attached hereto is Exhibit A, Section 2, the above referenced and above described real property set forth in Section 1, above containing real property owned by the property owner is hereby zoned C1 and keeps the same zoning designation. Section 3, that the zoning map of the city of Corbin, Kentucky is hereby amended to add the above referenced and above described tract of real property set forth in Section 1 above for the city of Corbin, Kentucky's boundaries and to reflect the zoning classifications given to said tract of real property as set forth in Section 2. Section 4, this ordinance can be reviewed and inspected at the office of the city clerk, City of Corbin, Kentucky, City Government Center, City Hall, 805 South Main Street, Corbin, Kentucky 40701, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. Section 5, this ordinance shall take effect upon 2 readings, passage, and legal advertisement. Section 6, all ordinances or portions thereof in conflict herewith are hereby repealed. First reading, August 21st, 2023.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Gamble,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. First reading of ordinance 2023-8, an ordinance establishing a no parking zone on a portion of Roy Kidd Avenue between the intersection of Roy Kidd Avenue and Hamlin Street and the intersection of Roy Kidd Avenue and Ford Street on both sides of Roy Kidd Avenue and setting fine, jurisdiction, and venue for violating of this ordinance.
Ordinance number 2023-8, an ordinance of the city of Corbin, Kentucky, establishing a no parking zone on a portion of Roy Kidd Avenue between the intersection of Roy Kidd Avenue and Hamlin Street, and the intersection of Roy Kidd Avenue and Ford Street on both sides of Roy Kidd Avenue, and setting fine, jurisdiction, and venue for violation of this ordinance. Be it ordained by the Board of Commissioners of the city of Corbin, Kentucky as follows. Section 1, there is hereby established a no parking zone, and there shall be a no parking of motor vehicles or any other items on a portion of Roy Kidd Avenue between the intersection of Roy Kidd Avenue and Hamlin Street, and the intersection of Roy Kidd Avenue and Ford Street on both sides of Roy Kidd Avenue, and the city manager shall cause the proper signage and markings to be placed at the above described location. Section 2, any person in violation of this ordinance shall be fined according to the existing city ordinances relating to vehicular violations and or Commonwealth of Kentucky vehicular regulations and laws. Section 3, Knox District Court shall have venue and jurisdiction to adjudicate all violations of this ordinance. Section 4, all ordinances or portions of ordinances in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed. Section 5, this ordinance shall take effect upon due passage and legal advertisement. First reading, August 21st, 2023.
Do you have any questions?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Moore,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Gamble,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. First reading of ordinance 2023-9, an ordinance setting forth certain items as prohibited at the Corbin Arena and setting forth certain security requirements at the Corbin Arena, incorporating by reference City of Corbin, Kentucky Ordinance 9-96 and KRS 244125 into this ordinance and setting forth penalties for violation of this ordinance.
Ordinance number 2023-9, ordinance of the city of Corbin, Kentucky, setting forth certain items as prohibited at the Corbin Arena and setting forth certain security requirements at the Corbin Arena, incorporating by reference City of Corbin, Kentucky ordinance number 9-96 and KRS 244.125 into this ordinance and setting forth penalties for violation of this ordinance. Be it ordained by the Board of Commissioners of the City of Corbin, Kentucky as follows. Section 1. At the Corbin Arena, no person shall carry or be in possession of any weapons of any kind, including but not limited to firearms, authentic or replicated, including toys, knives or blades of any length, metal nail files, chains longer than 6 inches not made of precious metals, for example, platinum, gold, or sterling silver, clubs or extendable batons, any type of chemical irritant sprays, stun guns or tasers, spiked or studded jewelry, brass knuckle, or any other item that could likely be used as a weapon or may cause injury if thrown or used improperly. Section 2, the provisions of the City of Corbin, Kentucky ordinance number 9-96 and KRS 244.125 are hereby incorporated in this ordinance by reference as if fully set forth herein. Section 3, at Corbin Arena, no person shall carry or be in possession of the following items. A. Purses, bags, or containers larger than a small clutch bag, including but not limited to backpacks, binocular cases, briefcases, camera bags, cinch bags, computer bags, coolers, diaper bags, fanny packs, and luggage of any kind. B. Professional cameras or any camera with detachable lenses. C. Audio or video recording devices, GoPros, laptops, or selfie sticks. D. Non-prescriptions drugs or drug paraphernalia. E. Vapes or e-cigarettes. F. Outside food or drinks. G. Animals except for certified service animals. H. Laser pointers, bullhorns, noisemakers, or fireworks. I. Beach balls, frisbees, hoverboards, skateboards, rollerblades, balloons, or confetti. J. Stools, folding chairs, or seat cushions. K. Banners or posters. L. Strollers or car seats. K. Umbrellas. Section 4, Corbin Arena, all patrons shall be required to walk through a metal detector when entering the Corbin Arena facility. Section 5, at the Corbin Arena, patrons may carry or be in possession of personal items in a clear tote, max 12 inches by 12 inches, or a small clutch purse, max 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches, and the approximate size of a human hand. Section 6, at the Corbin Arena, all bags of any kind are subject to a security search. Section 7, Corbin Arena is a tobacco and nicotine-free facility, and no person shall use the same in the facility. Section 8, at the Corbin Arena, no person shall be allowed re-entry into the facility after entering same. Section 9, the provisions of this ordinance shall not apply to officers of the Corbin Police Department and other authorized law enforcement officers. Section 10, any person in violation of this ordinance shall be denied interest and or be ordered to leave the Corbin Arena facility and premises. Further, any firearm possessed by a person at the Corbin Arena in violation of KRS 244.125 shall be subject to forfeiture and shall be disposed of pursuant to KRS 237.090. Section 11, all ordinances or portions of ordinance in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed. Section 12, this ordinance shall take effect upon due passage and legal advertisement. First reading, August 21st, 2023.
Marlon Christie isn't here to speak on this. Do you have
It's
any?
just a clarification on what she had posted up there.
Yeah, what this amounts to is, she had similar rules like this, but they've never been approved by the Board of Commissioners since we got this. I told her, what she needed to make it legal. And brought into question, most of this language came from other arenas like Rupp Arena. So, that's the topic.
So people are used to it if they.
Oh, yeah. And the thing about guns, you can still get permits, so you can't have them. But that particular statute, because they serve alcohol, you can't have any laws. Silver otherwise.
I guess the only thing I had a question about was, for like family-oriented events, is there any, like, where in the arena potentially that could have like stroller zones? I didn't know, because there's no strollers allowed in the arena currently, so I didn't know if there was any room in the arena where it could be like a stroller zone for people, for like kid-like events, you know?
For a possibility, kid like events, I'm sure they do. Most of it's on the floor, so they
Yeah.
probably would let them come
They
in.
probably just let them come in, but I was just curious. That's it.
All right. No more questions or concerns? Okay. Need a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Gamble,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Rasmus,
Yes. Approve refund to Milton or Phyllis Creech located at 507 John Street for 2022 tax bill number 735. They were eligible for the homestead exemption.
I forgot to put the amount. It's $126.36.
I was wondering where that was.
126.36.
Motion to approve the refund?
Second.
Baker,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. Approve the SRO contract addendum.
Superintendent Cox, myself, and Rusty, along with Bob's help, we kind of redone this. We had a gentleman that was actually gonna work so many days as an SRO, and then also has a policeman for us when he wasn't in school, the 162 days. At this time, due to his mom getting sick, he's not gonna be able to do it, but Rusty wanted to leave this here in case we could come up with someone else possibly down the road.
So this isn't the normal, this is just for an officer that wants to work at both places.
Yeah, he would be an SRO, 162 days in the school, and then the rest of the time.
But we
he
don't
would
have
be-
anybody that this pertains to as of now.
No.
Gotcha. All right. Do you have to read that?
No.
This target lady's become a big part of my life. Okay.
Anybody? Motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Campbell,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. Accept the resignation of police officer Zachary Strickland effective 8/5/2023.
I actually have a letter from him.
Okay.
August 5th, 2023, regarding his official resignation. Dear Chief Rusty Hedrick and Mayor Susie Rasmus, after careful consideration and prayers, I've decided to resign my employment as a patrol officer of the city of Corbin. I respectfully announce that my last day of employment is today, August 5th, 2023, at the city of Corbin. I've fulfilled my childhood dream of being a police officer. I will always appreciate the experience and knowledge I've gained during my time here. I just feel at this point in my life that the timing is not the right time for me to be in this career, and I will try again at a later time. Sincerely, Zachary Strickland.
Thank
Motion,
him for his service and entertain a motion.
motion to accept the resignation of Zachary Strickland?
Second.
Moore,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. Rehire Brentley Patrick and Jarrett Carr as police officers.
Before we do that, I actually got a letter of retirement from Lieutenant Jason Moore. If I could read that. To the City of Corbin, Corbin Police Department, please accept this letter as notice of my retirement effective September 1st, 2023. I would like to thank the City of Corbin and the Corbin Police Department for allowing me to fulfill a childhood dream of becoming a police officer. It has been my pleasure to serve the citizens here in Corbin for the past 21 years. Even though I look forward to retiring, I will certainly miss the friendships I've made over the years. I'd like to personally thank Chief Hedrick, Chief McDonald, Mayor Rasmus, Mr. Sams, City Council members, and all the other departments for the opportunity and support that made it possible for me to have a successful career in law enforcement. If I can help the city in any way, please don't hesitate to contact me.
Rusty, would you like to speak on Jason for a minute?
Not only was Jason Moore an outstanding police officer, he served our country. He did in both fashions. He was in the National Guard and has just recently retired from the National Guard also, so he spent 20 years in the National Guard. He's an outstanding young officer. I say young officer, he's younger than I am. Young man. He meant a lot to us here. He done an excellent job, and I was proud to work alongside him.
Amen. Yeah. He will very much be missed and hard to replace. I guess I need to accept a motion. Yeah, sorry, died for lack of a motion.
Go ahead.
Somebody's gotta do it.
I'll make a motion to accept the retirement.
Baker,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. All right. Rehire Brentley Patrick and Jarrett Carr as police officers.
this is very exciting. I'm happy to have these guys back.
Is that a motion?
Emotion, yes.
All right.
Second.
Campbell,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. Rehire David Alsup as a full-time dispatcher.
Glad to have-
David was a dispatcher here for a long time and then went to state police post, retired. David's been off here and decided he wanted to come back to this thing. We're tickled to death to have him.
He's been working here part-time for the last several months.
Yes.
We welcome him back. Motion to rehire David, full-time dispatcher.
Second.
Moore,
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. Hire Heather Grillian as a full-time code enforcement secretary.
Heather was hired about 3 months.
No, we just hired
Last month, yes, I'm sorry. But, she has done a great job. She's really got in there, Mike. She's really tickled to death with her also. She's very good on reporting and getting everything out. I recommend her full time.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. Hire Leslie Phelps as full-time box office assistant at the arena.
We had overlooked her when Christie had put that on there, on our full time for the budget. She's very helpful in the box office with the assistant, so the director that's in there, I recommend her full time.
Motion to hire Leslie Phelps as full-time box office assistant for the arena.
Second.
Baker,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. Hire Matthew Abrams and Gary Kettlinger as full-time employees in the Parks and Recreation Department.
They were both seasonal and Jeff recommended that we hire both of them. And all of these that we are hiring, we budgeted in.
Make a motion to hire Matthew Abrams and Gary Kettlinger.
Second.
Campbell,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes.
Another one that hurts, accept the resignation of Parks and Recreation Director Jeff Chadwell effective 8/23/2023.
I have a letter from him as well. It's dated July 25th, 2023. Mayor Rasmus, Commissioners, Vaughn and Sam, please accept this as my resignation from the position of Parks and Recreation Director for the city of Corbin. My last day will be August 23rd, 2023. I appreciate the opportunity given me by Mr. Sands and the Personnel Committee. I've enjoyed working for the city of Corbin over the past 2 years. Everyone at City Hall has been great to work with, and I will truly miss everyone. Corbin will continue to be my home, and I want nothing but the best for the city and the Parks and Recreation Department. If I can be of assistance, don't hesitate to ask. Thank you, Jeff Chadwell.
And he is staying with Little League.
As far as I know, yes. I think he will.
He sure has been great. Come on, people, so we can get a motion. Oh, exactly. All right, Brandon, make a motion.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Moore,
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Campbell, Rasmus.
Yes. Authorize city manager to advertise for Parks and Recreation Director.
Motion to authorize city manager to advertise for Parks and Rec director.
Second.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. Resolution 2023-9, a resolution to adopt and allocate funds for an outdoor fitness court as part of the 2023 National Fitness Campaign.
Resolution 2023-9, a resolution to adopt and allocate funds for an outdoor fitness court as part of the 2023 National Fitness Campaign. At a meeting of the City of Corbin, Kentucky Board of Commissioners held on Monday, August 21st, 2023, where the following action was taken. Whereas the City of Corbin has submitted a grant application to the National Fitness Campaign, NFC, for participation in their 2023 initiative to install and activate outdoor fitness courts in 200 cities and schools across the country. And whereas the city of Corbin will accept a $30,000 national grant from our NFC grant committee and statewide partners and provide a local match in the amount of $220,000 to promote and implement a free to the public outdoor fitness court. And whereas the city of Corbin will secure supplemental funding as needed through community sponsors, which shall be made available and committed to this program for the purchase of the outdoor fitness court. And whereas the city of Corbin will commit to construction and launch of the outdoor fitness court by the end of 2023 calendar year. And whereas the city of Corbin Board of Commissioners believes the outdoor fitness court is an important wellness ecosystem that supports healthier communities, commits to funding and fundraising to participate in NFC's 2023 campaign, and will earn local and national recognition as a leader in providing affordable health and wellness. Now therefore be it resolved that the city of Corbin Board of Commissioners will collaborate with NFC to implement the outdoor fitness court and make fitness free to community residents and visitors.
This location will be at 7th and Poplar Street. It's a 38 concrete slab that they initially put in. Public Works will be putting that in. And then, we have a deadline there included in each one of your packets to look at. But, this is a very popular thing that we have going on. We do own the park over there at 7th Poplar Street. I think it's an ideal location for people to have walking, exercising. Richmond, the city of Richmond just put one in last week. They opened theirs. I know University of Cumberland has one. The budget committee was gracious to help us out on this to secure the funding for it.
This is in the budget that John and Brandon, so you all research this, and I think that park is,
Perfect.
yeah.
And the good thing about it, we'll have to just clear out section 38. All the stuff that's already in there, we might have to remove that whole tree. There's a very, very large tree right there to the
The big
big
one?
tree, yes, but hopefully we're gonna try not to.
That's the one right on the corner.
Yes,
Because it'll be nice and.
I'm
nice
gonna
and
look at
shady.
trimming it back. I'm gonna talk to Joy Hampton and them about kind of shortening that out for us. But it will provide a lot of shade and stuff like that.
It's kind of neat looking though. I mean, if everybody's seen the pictures, it's kind of artistic, so it won't be ugly. So that's good.
And they will have, on the back of it, which will be facing toward, Poplar Street, they will have our logo on there. That's part of it. The city's logo.
Anybody else have any questions? Take a motion.
Motion to adopt and allocate funds for an outdoor fitness court as part of the 2023 National Fitness Campaign.
Baker,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. I will say we probably need cameras.
That's already been clear. You gotta make sure.
Okay. And hopefully we can find who's messing with the dog park bathrooms. Starting to tick me off.
There were 2 lights out that I didn't know about, and city utilities is taking care of that even today.
Moving on, city manager's report.
Christie and Maggie both asked me to kind of give an update. Both of them, Maggie's out of town, Christie had open house for daughter today at school. On the drift race, it was a very popular turnout. Friday night, there was over 75 vehicles on Main Street blocked off, and they said the restaurants were full. And they had almost 250 people up there Saturday to come and pay and watch it. And the organizers said they would be back next year. They were glad, tickled to death with the turnout of people. So they said it was hot that day, but it was unbelievable, the people coming up there watching. And then also, Maggie and I met last week. It's in the early stages, and we visited just right before COVID with the National Forestry Service or the London Forestry Service about possibility of the city and the Forestry Service partner to do the 312 top part of the park area. work together on that to come in a partnership. There's a couple of different agreements out there, and I'm gonna let Bob look at them, before we do this. And this is in the early stages with possible taking the first next year before we really get ready. Yes, it'll be very nice. And then also, spoke to Todd Greer briefly this morning to schedule our blacktop in our city streets. Due to municipal aid only $158,000, we're only gonna get like 5 major streets in the city blacktop this year.
Feel like next year's budget, we're really gonna have to hit them hard.
Yes.
Yeah. That's all? Okay. Bruce, you got anything?
Yes. I want to just thank you, Mayor, and the commission and Marlon for your all's support on our NIVROC on behalf of the chamber, and all the department heads, beginning with Barry, Rusty, Jeff Chadwell over at the rec department, Christy at the arena, Maggie, and of course I gotta say something about Jeff and his crew, Jeff Nance and the Public Works. Those guys were just tremendous from the beginning to the end. They were out there all night, and I had more comments from a lot of folks about how clean everything was the next day after each night, but then especially, as I think we all hear on Sunday morning, I had several people talking about that, how year after year they get up Sunday morning going to church and they can't believe that there's anything in this town for 4 days, let alone the night before. But I don't think I've left anybody. My phone just went dead. I had all my notes there, so I should have charged it. But again, I just want to thank everyone. I think it was a great festival, and wouldn't be possible at all without the support and the help of all of you here at the city and all the department heads. And we appreciate you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. And yeah, I mean, I saw Barry and Rusty and Jeff's guys. I mean, everybody worked so hard. And Bruce, without your leadership, I mean, 71 years, you know, that's really something to be proud of. And we all see how hard you work. And I'm really proud of my town, you know, that everybody works so well together and you know, really take personal pride in our hometown festival, and just very, very appreciative to everybody. I had a great time personally, and I think everybody else did too, so
Well,
good times.
I didn't, because unfortunately I was on COVID.
Well, that's right.
Sunday morning, I got an email from our former city manager, Bill A. Cannon, and he said, it did not look like there was a NIVROC the last 4 days.
And let me say this about Jeff. Jeff came up with the idea, you know, garbage is always an issue during the festival. And we were out there, I guess, Jeff, maybe Sunday or one night before it all started. And he said, we're not going to bring the big white barrels. Of course, we always had the big blue barrels. And with your all's help and his help, we had the white barrels. And even then, it was hard to manage. But with his idea of putting those trash cans out, I mean, it was phenomenal. And I have
People actually use them.
They used them, and it helped us tremendously as far as being able to free my people up that help us and do some other things. But I had some other communities, Jeff, I just want you to know, they came up to me and they said, who came up with that idea? And I said, Jeff Nance. I said, brilliant idea, we really appreciate it.
It really was. There was no excuse for throwing anything down, because everywhere you turned there was a garbage can, and it really did make a big difference, because the smell wasn't, and it just didn't, it wasn't the usual NIVROC odor.
Well, Jeff and I look every night. The first night he came down there on Wednesday night, he goes, did you all not have, and we had a huge Wednesday night. And we saw it that first night, what a difference those trash cans made, and it just continued on through the whole week. So that was really a great idea and very helpful.
I have to ask though, how did you get the garbage out? How did you all, because did you get them? You just like went through and just
Crowd leaves, we just take the garbage truck there and dump it.
just straight down Main Street?
Yeah, that's one thing he and I talked about, making sure we had everybody just beyond the white lines, so we
Exactly.
had plenty of room to drive the truck down.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, well, great stuff. We'll be doing it again next year, God willing, and the creek don't rise, right? All right, any department head reports? Anybody got anything they want to tell us?
One thing. We have 3 accounts at Hometown Bank that are police department accounts. One is federal forfeiture, there's one that's a
motion to remove Sky from the bank documents and add Robin.
Moore,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes.
Mayor, I do have one other thing.
Okay.
Rhonda and I met with PNC officials, Wednesday of this past week. Due to Diane no longer here and Billy Cannon no longer here, they're the two on the PNC account. And we need to get them off there and make it Rhonda and myself. So we
What
had to meet
account is that?
the PNC account, the credit
Oh,
card.
the credit card.
And they had to meet with us and make sure that everything was going, but we had to take those two off. So we've been,
You should have told me this, we did.
I know it. But they, so they're supposed to meet with Ron, or call them back next week to get that all straightened out. So I'll need to be on there, so Rhonda.
Can we go ahead and?
Yes.
Do that in a motion, so that, all right, so we need a motion to remove Bill Ed and Miss Diane
From the
PNC account and add Marlon and Rhonda Moore.
So moved, yes.
Somebody second. All right.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Rasmus.
Yes. All right, do we have anyone from city that would like to speak?
Hey, thank y'all for having me. My name's Steve Morris. I'm from the Cumberland Valley Ad. They brought me on to kind of get out and about, so I'm making my way around to the 8 counties and getting a better working relationship to find out how we can help you all get grants. And I know there's a ton of money out there. You know, Joe Biden's throwing about $3 trillion at us, so we want to get our hands on it. The ARC, Appalachian Region Commission, is releasing a bunch of grants coming up here in just the next little bit. And so it's a great opportunity for you guys. There's some beautification ones that's for downtowns, some broadband ones. I mean, this is real good. We met with the lady from ARC today from Washington DC. She came down. And so there's some great opportunities out there, but the ad would love to work with you all, and I'd love to be a point of contact. I know y'all in the past have probably worked with Whitney, and have probably worked with also Caitlin, but they brought me on sort of as an additional one because there's too much to see after. So I spent 30 years in education, retired from Laurel County Board of Ed, 21 years as principal at North Lawn Middle School. So I'm kind of having to learn my way around, but I'm here to help, and so if y'all need something, just holler, okay? Thank
Well,
y'all.
welcome. We're excited to have you. I know that they've got their hands full there for sure.
Thank you, Steve.
So you and Marlon can come up with some good stuff for us.
He is already working on, the ad board is obtaining to a grant. How much was it for the drone training?
We're giving those out, Nick, this coming Tuesday at the arena. There's one for each county. They're about $27,000 drone. They do infrared scanning, so if you have somebody lost, you can find them. Just a real good, and the company from Siler Drones out of Missouri is coming to do the training. So they're gonna give one to every county judge, but whoever the emergency management person is in your area, be probably one that has it.
And we're gonna work through, our swift water rescue. 2 of our firemen are gonna train, and then also one of our policemen is gonna train to do this.
So
And
we get one.
we're working on that with, we're not guaranteed it, but we're trying. It comes through
just
the,
because,
it comes through the counties, but unfortunately, now we're 3 counties, so work that out.
It'd be hard to get our hands on it probably, you know? So it would be nice.
Well, the corporation, Whitney said they are gonna work, and she's already spoke to Judge Mitchell in Knox County, and I think with Pat too. But I feel like 2 of our firemen who are Swiftwater and one of our policemen did good training. This is FAA training. This is not the regular drone training.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right, any of the commissioners have anything they want to discuss? If not, I'll entertain, I'm sorry, Rusty, I said department heads and you didn't say anything. All right.
I just wanted to speak on behalf, and about the 4 officers that responded to the incident in Nibrock Park. I'm very proud of those individuals. They ran toward the luckily, there was no danger, but the call of shots fired. They were selfless in their actions and handled it very swiftly, and I'm very proud of them.
I'm very proud of them too. I saw them respond to it. I felt completely confident that they had everything under control, and you know, you never know that it's a false alarm, and people really panicked, and they handled it so well, and it really diffused the situation so quickly and got the information out, you know, via your social media post. I really appreciate that, because it just really took all the air out of the story, and they just did great. I mean, they really did. I guess it was Officer Rhodes.
Officer Rhodes, Officer Miller, Officer Brown, and Officer Stewart.
Excellent,
That responded.
excellent work. Yeah. What you got to say, Bruce?
Well, I just want to, I'm glad you, and I do apologize, because I meant to bring that up, like I said, my phone went dead, I had all these notes. But I want to tell you, the officer that came into the green room, and I think you were there, Mayor, he handled that, and I'm telling you, he took everyone and put them at ease, the way he handled that, and as all the officers did. But we had direct, communication with him there in the green room, that while the band and everything was there, and did not want to pass over this chance
That was
to
Officer
say thank you,
Rhodes,
because
yeah.
that was absolutely.
He calmed the band down, they went back on stage,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, we thought it was over.
He was so good at communicating everything. And I was back there with your officers, and I know they were there immediately, and, appreciate everything that you all did, in regards to that.
Very proud of the police department, and our fire office, and our public works. All of them.
We got a great team. Motion to adjourn, if nothing else.
Motion to adjourn?
Moore,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Rasmus,
Yes.